What's good, y'all? It's Krill from Out the Box. I'm back for a new review video. I know it's been a minute since I've done an album review. To be honest, there's not been a lot of new hip hop albums within the last couple of weeks that I've been excited to do a review about. And I just didn't want to force any new music reviews. But the album I want to talk about today in particular is an album I've actually been listening to, taking breaks, studying the lyrics, since it came out a few weeks ago. This album is entitled Aethiopes from MC Billy Woods and producer DJ Preservation. It clocks in at 13 songs with a duration of 39 minutes. Aethiopes came out on April 8th and is now available on Bandcamp and digital streaming platforms. Now, to start off, the production on this album is generally minimalist with distinct percussion sounds throughout a variety of the tracks. Very much in the frame of what we're used to getting from DJ Preservation in terms of his signature and his style of production. The beats have some cinematic moments to them and an abstract but intriguing vibe overall. As far as the features, the album includes guest artists Boldy James, Gabe Nandez, Elucid, Quelly Chris, Denmark Vesey, Mike Ladd, LP, Breeze Bruin, Fatboy Sharif, Despot, and Shinehead. And I have to say, the features are really awesome on this project. They really help to complement the overall album alongside Woods' vocals. Now, my favorite feature tracks are Heavy Water, featuring LP and Breeze Bruin. That's such a dope posse cut. Even though it's just like three of them, it just feels like a posse cut. And also the Vasalis record featuring Despot. But certainly all of the features, however, bring a dope but specifically unique contribution to the album. And I think that's important to note because it's a huge compliment to the album. The sequencing from track to track on the project is really good as well. And with repeated listens, you'll begin to notice it more. Just to highlight, there's a cool beat change up at the end of the song Christine, where MC Mike Ladd comes in. And there's this really smooth transition from that track to the next song, Heavy Water. You almost don't realize that it's a whole new track because the segue is done so well. Even with the track before that goes from 9X to Christine, there's a distinct horn sound that seamlessly segues those two tracks. As far as the lyrics on the album, the rhymes are very dense. There's a lot going on when it comes to Woods' lyrics, and it'll certainly take some time to grasp a lot of what he's talking about in his raps. I recommend observing the written lyrics of the album from a site like Genius.com, just as a guide to some of the vocabulary expressed in the lyrics. But if I had to give an overview of the subject matter that this album discusses, I would say it touches on a variety of topics, from political asylum, the experience of living in the hood, dealing with the street life, the hustler life, and the harsh realities that come with these environments. There's also recurring themes that deal with the subject of slavery, captivity, colonialism, and historical reference to events where these actions have happened to and largely affected African people in particular. There's also this feeling of being unfazed and a sense of pessimism happening as a theme throughout this album, but it's also from a perspective of being awakened and hip to the deception and manipulation from certain historical institutions of power and even individuals of influence who take advantage of other people. For instance, on the track Proto-Vangelium, which I think is one of the dopest tracks on the album, Woods has a line where he says, "I get it, trying to pay the rent, but that's not black empowerment, that's you trying to pay the rent." Also, the track earlier in the album, No Hard Feelings, just the title itself addresses another reoccurring theme on the album of accepting harsh realities and not expecting any handouts. Like on the track The Doldrums, Wood says, "Nothing ever happens till it does," to emphasize sort of this idea that talk is cheap and things don't move until they actually get going. So if I had to sum it up, I feel like the central theme you hear on this album as far as subject matter is accepting harsh realities and confronting corruption, whether it be historic or in modern times. Overall, the album is a solid listen, but I'll say for me, the standout tracks are the two opener tracks and the last three tracks. So that would be the songs Asylum, No Hard Feelings, Proto-Vangelium, Remorseless, and Smith and Cross. I feel like Woods' voice is very impactful over all of these said tracks. And it's also dope how melodic and emotional the last three tracks in particular come across in their message. Although the album is lyrically dense, and I believe it'll take some continuous listens with a lyric sheet as a guide to help get to the depth of what the rhymes on this album are about, I believe that this is a project you can enjoy just from a vibe perspective, but you just can't give up on the listen, right? I'd suggest just trying to let the album play all the way through while you're doing something else like cleaning or washing dishes, or break it into sections at a time with your listening and pay attention to any lines that jump out at you. I feel like with an intentional, casual listen, you'll appreciate this album a lot faster and have a variety of key moments throughout the album that should become memorable to you as a listener. Yeah, so definitely give this project at least a full casual listen when you get a chance and see how you feel about the music overall. Again, it's entitled Aethiopes by MC Billy Woods and producer DJ Preservation, now available on Bandcamp and digital platforms. Take a listen when you get a chance. I hope you're able to enjoy. Thank you again for tuning into the platform. I thank you for checking out this review channel. Definitely feel free to leave a comment if you had any feedback on this project. And if there's any particular projects you would like to see me review, I'm open to suggestions as well. But thank you. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet and you like what you see. And feel free to share it if you feel like other people can, appreciate some of the content. All right. So I will catch y'all on the next video. Thank you again for tuning in. Peace, love, and light. See y'all next time. Take it easy.